In a recent video, I talked about how sometimes the photos that you want to take require a little bit of effort. Meaning you can't just expect to walk down to the end of your street and get that photo that you really want to get. For last week, I've been in Whistler in the Vancouver area on a family vacation, and because my cousin got married. So instead of my regular photography friends, I have my mother. So last time I was in Vancouver, we did a hike and we didn't quite get as far as I wanted to. And I've done some pretty serious hikes in this area, but today we're gonna do one that's kind of an intermediate level hike. It's not too hard, and I know my mom can do it, but I know you have some fears.
I'm not afraid about bears because we got bear spray and I got you. I'm afraid of being cold.
Now I've got the Shimoda Action X30 with me, which is awesome because I can carry all my camera gear. I can carry a tent, and I actually think you have part of the tent in the Mystery Ranch. I think we're gonna be good, but let's see how this whole thing goes. You ready?
Bears like raspberries, so this is not a good spot to get.
Should we try some?
You try it and we'll see what happens.
What do you know about bears?
Let me go past. Get me out of here. Bears eat blueberries, raspberries, and humans. We gotta get out of here.
How do you know what camera settings to use?
It's either 1, 2, or 3.
But what about aperture?
Oh, the aperture is set. It's perfect.
Like any good mother, my mother likes to watch my shorts and YouTube videos. So one day she comes to me and says, holding up her Google Pixel, "Look, Anthony, I'm using aperture." Of course, with the smartphone, aperture is set. You can't actually change it. The thought that she's watching my videos kind of warmed my heart. So we're camping at Joffrey Lakes, and there are 3 lakes. First one, super easy to get to right from the parking lot. Second one is probably the hardest section of the hike, like between the first lake and the second lake. And actually, we are at the second lake right now. That is the second lake. The third lake, if you keep going down the path, you go up a little bit and you can't see it because it's behind, but there is a glacier right there. So when we're camping, we'll be able to see that. Do you remember what happened the last time we were here?
It snowed.
Do you remember the picture?
No.
My sister, my sisters and my cousin are joining us for the first part of this hike. Last time we were here, it snowed, and we were here in October. We took some really fun photos that time. Well, no snow this time. We made it all the way to the other side of, this is Upper Joffrey Lake. Do you know why the water is so blue?
I would say it has something to do with minerals coming off the mountain.
Did you know that already?
No, but Grandpa was a geography teacher, so that's what I'm assuming.
My mom's dad, my grandfather, was a geography teacher, and that's absolutely right. So if you ever see, oh, is it snowing? No, that's bugs. But if you ever see a lake that is this kind of Gatorade or Kool-Aid jammer color of blue, it's because of all of this over here. So BC, Alberta, when you get a lake like that's like this color, it's because of like the freezing and the thawing and the water dissolving all of the minerals, and then they deposit into the lake and they turn that color.
There's probably no vegetation or no fish.
I don't think there's any wildlife,
No.
but I am impressed that you knew that.
2 points for me.
2 points for you. Okay, so the tent is all set up and we're at our campsite. How difficult was that?
On a scale of 1 to 10? 6.5.
Honestly, 5 on the difficulty scale. It's unfortunate because it's really cloudy and I kind of wanted to hike up the ridge over here. I don't know if I should just go to bed early. I know what you're gonna say.
Yes.
You want some snacks? I'm having snacks now.
Yeah.
I don't know, what are these? You got them at the grocery store, right?
I got them at the dollar store.
Fruit Tropic. Not sponsored.
I think this is some kind of a rose bush thing. Like,
Miss Chelsea would know. Do you know Miss Chelsea?
have a clue?
They do look very nice.
Very pretty.
So we're eating the What are these, dried apples? Do you think if I added water to them?
They would turn into applesauce.
So I had to fully load the Shimoda for this to work. I've got the 30-liter Action X30. Thanks to the Shimoda guys for sending this out. It's one of those bags that when you need a camera bag, like this is my everyday camera bag, but you can see just how stuffed the top is. I have this, well, the bag has a roll top design, so if I undo it, you can see right in the top, like I've got my Gore-Tex jacket, I've got a thermal layer for tonight, my air mattress, my Thermarest in here, but it's honestly super handy. Like if I open up the main compartment, so normally I would just have all camera gear in here, but I've got the 70 to 200, the 15 to 35, some ND filters, and just a bunch of like extra camping gear, food, sunglasses, some camera bags, like the Peak Design bags. I find they wouldn't really work for a situation like this, like you can't really overload them, but because the Shimoda has all the straps on the side, and actually the new version has these drop pouches that you can disconnect, and I just carried up my Nalgene on one side and the tripod on the other. You fill it up?
Yeah, a little bit of air.
Yeah, that's good. Before we wrap this up, maybe go take some photos. Let's try this. It's definitely better. It's kind of like a really soft, soggy apple. Camping food. So today we hiked. We hiked a total of 5.5 kilometers to get to this spot. The one thing that kind of is a bummer right now is that there's clouds. The sunset is supposed to be back there, and the 3 lakes that we just climbed up, you can actually see them in succession if you climb a little bit higher. I might try climbing up, or we might just go to bed and wake up early tomorrow to get another view at the second lake, which has the log. It's like the Instagram famous spot that everyone goes to, but a really nice spot. And again, one of those things that if you're trying to take photos, you can't just take a photo in your backyard. Sometimes you have to plan to take that photo, to bring people with you. You can set up a tripod, but of course, it's way more fun when you have friends or you have family. So maybe tomorrow morning when we wake up, we'll try that. But sorry, one more thing, because this is hilarious. The bottom of the dried apple bag, it's basically all dried apple dust. A little bit of a last minute addition before we go to sleep. I'm gonna climb, whoop, those apple bits are coming back. I'm gonna try climbing as high up over all these rocks as I can get. Maybe somewhere up there. And I'd really like to get a photo, even though it's cloudy. Maybe a self-portrait. Set up the interval timer on the Canon. I don't know where the top is, but I'm already out of breath. Looks nice though. I have to be honest, Aiden Robbins, I don't know how you do it. Always hiking up and down the mountains. You can probably hear it in the audio, but there's a waterfall. There's a couple waterfalls off to the side. I'm gonna try going a little bit higher. Let me show you what's on the other side of the camera. It's literally straight up. I'll give it another 10 minutes of hiking and we'll see how far we get. All right, so we are inside the tent. 9:15, and we are going to sleep to hopefully wake up for tomorrow morning when it'll be a little bit clearer, and maybe we'll have a chance to get a photo on our way back down the mountain. What do you, where are you?
I'm keeping warm.
Are you there? Are you alive?
Good night.
Good night. I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't just get out, set up the camera, go back in. But the whole point of this trip is to demonstrate the fact that photography and photo shoots and the photos that you want to take and hiking and all that can sometimes be a little bit unpredictable and a little bit chaotic. When the weather doesn't turn out quite right, or you take a wrong turn on your hike, or you use the wrong camera settings, never make the mistake of forgetting your why. The photos you take aren't about how Instagram worthy they are. They aren't about the number of likes or the number of views that you get. Photography is much more about the journey and much less about the destination. It's about the hike that you went through and the memories that you made along the way. So even if your photos don't turn out amazing, never forget the reason why or that story behind your photos. And until the next one, go shoot photos. Filming by yourself on top of a mountain, literally the worst place to be filming by yourself.